What is up, guys? It is Marcus from Perspective Sports, and every year in the NFL, we have a handful of players who have breakout seasons, such as in 2015 with Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton, who surprised an oodle amount of people when he threw for 35 touchdowns and only 10 interceptions, while at the same time throwing for 3,837 passing yards. Another example within the same season will be Washington Redskins quarterback Kirk Cousins, who threw for 4,166 yards, 29 touchdowns while completing 68.9% of his passes. And for two more examples from this past season, we have Arizona Cardinals running back David Johnson, who rushed for 1,239 yards, 16 touchdowns, while at the same time catching 80 passes for an additional 879 yards and 4 touchdowns. But the surprise of the year was Atlanta Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan, who threw for 38 touchdowns and was only 56 yards away from the historic 5,000 passing yards in a season club, which only includes 5 quarterbacks in the NFL's history, when he threw for 4,944 yards. But as for this list, I have 3 players who I expect to have a breakout season, not quite historic, but will have much improved seasons from their previous year. And we're going to start off with Jared Goff, quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. And to say the least, Goff had an atrocious rookie campaign when he went 0 for 7 in his 7 starts, had 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, while completing a substandard 55% of his passes. But it wasn't Goff's fault. Well, it mostly wasn't his fault. Goff walked into a horrible situation in Los Angeles when the franchise abruptly moved to Los Angeles from St. Louis. Then the franchise gave up a ton to acquire the number 1 overall pick to then take him number 1. Then they had Jeff Fisher, a defensive-minded, below-average head coach who got an extension, but yet later was fired. So as you can see, Goff walked into a franchise that had absolutely no sense of direction or an idea of what direction they wanted to go in. But this offseason, the Rams made strides in the right direction by signing a new head coach in Sean McVay, the youngest head coach in the modern NFL's history, as he's only 30 years old. But McVay is an offensive-minded head coach who's worked with Kirk Cousins as the offensive coordinator from 2014 to 2016 with the Washington Redskins. So he has experience developing young, talented quarterbacks. And so you mix that with a team that already has an elite-level defense, and their only issue was offense, and now they're surrounding Goff with the support that he needs to grow as a player. And McVay, they just traded for Sammy Watkins. He still has Tavon Austin and running back Todd Gurley. And with all this, I expect Goff to make a jump this season, and I definitely expect him to put up 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 3,257 passing yards with a 59% completion percentage. Next, I have Coleman, wide receiver from the Cleveland Browns. And he didn't have a terrible rookie season by any stretch of the imagination. He also didn't have a lot of opportunities, with former teammate Terrell Pryor having an unexpected season where he caught 77 passes for 1,007 yards and 4 touchdowns. But now that Terrell Pryor has moved on from Cleveland and signed with the Washington Redskins on a 1-year, $6 million fully guaranteed deal, Coleman has now moved into the number 1 role at wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. Coleman also has 2 potential quarterbacks in Brock Osweiler and Deshaun Kaiser, a rookie from Notre Dame, who will happily toss the ball downfield and give him opportunities to make big plays, meaning he'll get a lot more yards. Coleman also has Kenny Britt, who will help take some of the attention away from him, as he caught 68 passes last season for 1,002 yards and 5 touchdowns for the Rams. So when you combine all this with more opportunities, he now still has help on the other side of the field with Kenny Britt and 2 quarterbacks who aren't afraid to air it out. I think Coleman will put up 66 receptions, 1,015 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And now for our final player, and a player who may surprise you, and that's Marcus Mariota, quarterback from the Tennessee Titans. And this one, again, may be a shocker because he kind of already had a breakout season last year when his numbers jumped from 19 touchdown passes to 26 touchdown passes, and he threw less interceptions. Mariota isn't only going to get better as an individual player, because remember, he hasn't even entered his prime yet, and he's still the only player in the NFL not to throw an interception inside of the red zone in the last 2 seasons. So he's already smart with the ball in critical places, but again, he's only entering his 3rd season, but now he has more offensive weapons than ever with the addition of Corey Davis, 6'3", 209 big body wide receiver from Western Michigan who can haul, as in his fastest 40 time he was clocked running a 4.38. They also added wide receiver Eric Decker via free agency, who will give Mariota a reliable slot option, And to already add that to an offense that was ranked 11th in the NFL a previous season ago, add that to a core of playmakers that already include running back DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry, wide receiver Rashard Matthews, a solid O-line. Mariota is due for another breakout season because all the tools are there. He's getting better as a player. His team around him is getting better. And I expect him to make a big jump this season as he'll put up 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 3,724 passing yards, and 63% completion percentage while rushing for 3 touchdowns and 407 yards. I think Mariota will shock a lot of people this season while making another big-time jump and will become one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Well, there you guys have it. I hope you did enjoy the video. As you can see, I'm still very high on Jared Goff as he walked into a terrible situation, but now they're starting to put the right pieces around him. Also, who do you think will be a breakout player? Do you agree with my 3 players? I look forward to seeing you down in the comment section below. I'm out.